Hello, welcome to my today's lesson. Today we are looking at this question on the chalkboard, and this is under trigonometry. Okay, so let me go through it and see how best we are going to answer this given question. Find all the angles between 0 degree and 360 degree which satisfy the equation modulus of sine x is equals to cos x. Okay, so as you may be aware, this question is under trigonometry in additional mathematics. Okay, now let us go to solution. Okay, so now we are going to start by actually identifying the sine x which is in the modulus. What does that mean? Okay, so whenever you see this, they are called modulus or absolute. Okay, so now a number inside these signs, they can either be negative or positive. So now for us to get rid of this modulus, we have to introduce a negative and a positive, okay? Because that is what it means. For instance, when you are given a modulus of -2, you are going to have a positive 2. So now we are trying to reverse it, okay? Where they have already put it in the modulus form. Now we have to get it out of there, okay? This is where now I'm saying we are going to have negative and positive. So what do I mean? So we are going to say sine x is equals to, so the first one is going to be sine x is equals to 2 cos x, okay? 2 cos x. Now here, the idea is we want to find the angle which ranges from 0 up to 360. How are we going to do that? Okay, so what we are going to do is, we are going to make sure that here we just mean with a 2 which is there. Now what are we going to do? It means we are going to divide by both sides by cos what? Cos x. So cos x over cos x. Okay, then this will go, we are going to cancel. Then this side, if we go back now on the identities, the quotient identity. So when you have sine as a numerator and cos as the denominator, the answer there is going to be tan. Okay, sine x over cos x is same as tan x. So this is going to be tan x is equals to, this side we have 2. Okay, so we have just formulated one equation, okay, out of the modulus that we were given. So we are done with this one. This is equation 1. Okay, so let us go to the other equation. Okay, so this one now we are going to say, since I said in my preamble that when you are trying to move out of this sine x in the modulus, it is going to have two values, negative and what? Positive, of which I've even given the reason why. So now here we are going to say sine x is equals to, this time it will be -2 cos x. Okay, then again we are going to do the same, where we are going to remain with a -2 there. How are we going to do? We are going to divide by cos x both sides. Okay, cos x. Okay, so again this cos will cancel each other, then we are going to remain with a -2. Then the other side, this is tan, as I said. Okay, sine x over cos x is same as tan x. So this time around we are going to have tan x is equals to -2. So as you can see now, we have two equations. We have tan x is equals to +2 and tan x is equals to -2. Now having done this, let us find the angles between 0 and 360 degree. Okay, so we are going to start with the first one, which is tan x is equals to 2. So this one now, we are going to shift the calculator. Here you should have a calculator. Remember, in trigonometry, calculator has to be there. So here, for us to find angle x, we are going to say x is equals to second function, okay, which is 2, the second function of tan. So you are going to shift the calculator, shift, then you place tan, then you write the number which is there. Okay, so this is giving us now 63.43 degree. Okay, so that is our first angle. Okay, now we are going back now to the Arctic circle. Okay, that circle where we are going to consider the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. This is what we are going to do now. Okay, so that we can identify where tan x, where tan is positive. That is where we are going to get the solutions. Okay, so for example, in the first quadrant, I'm going to indicate here, in the first quadrant, all are positive. Okay, what do I mean when I say that? Sine is positive, cos is positive, tan is positive. So in the first quadrant, there is a solution for tan. Why? Because all are what? Positive. And if you can see, this equation that we have just found is the difference angle, okay? It's the one which is guiding us. Since we have tan x, that means we are going to get now answers from where tan is positive. So first one is the first quadrant. In the first quadrant, the tan is positive. So 63.43 degree is one of the what? The answers. Okay. Then apart from that, we are going to go to the next one. The second quadrant, sine is what? Positive. Then third quadrant, tan is what? Positive. Fourth quadrant, cos is what? Positive. So now, as we are very much concerned in those positions where tan is what? Positive. So one we have already gotten, which is the first quadrant. Then we come to third quadrant. We can't go to second quadrant because in second quadrant, tan is what? Negative. Now in third quadrant, tan is positive. So that is where we are going to get solutions from. So now, how do we answer angles in third quadrant? So we always say 180 degree plus theta. Okay? Plus what? Theta. That is in third quadrant. So 180 plus theta. So the theta is the angle that we've already found, which is the reference angle. Okay? We can also call this one a reference angle. So 63.43 degree is the one that we are going that is going to substitute the theta. So here it is going to be 180 plus 63.43. What is the answer? So when we add this one plus 180, we are going to have 243 degree. 243.43 degree. Okay. So far so good. On tan x, which is equals to 2, we have got how many? We have 2 angles. Okay. One 63.43, then the other one 243.43. So we have 2 angles. And remember, on the question they are telling us to find angles ranges from 0 to 360 degrees. So we have just found 2. Now let us come to the last part of our question, which is tan x is equals to negative 2. Okay? Tan x is equals to negative what? 2. So what is the answer there? As usual, we are going to shift. So x is equals to tan. We shift the calculator to negative 2. What is the answer there? So shift the calculator, then place tan. Then from there, you say negative 2. Okay? The answer is going to be negative 63.43. Now this time around is a negative. Okay. So now let us now look at the Arctic circle and see where we are going to get solutions. So now that we have a negative as a reference angle, we are going to get where the tan is negative. That is those quadrants where tan is negative. That is where we are going to get solutions from. So for example, in this case, we have a second quadrant. So in second quadrant, tan is what? Negative. And also third what? Third quadrant. So we have got two quadrants where tan is negative, and that is where we are going to get the solutions. So how? We are now going to say second quadrant. How do we find second quadrant? It's 180. We are here, 180 minus theta. Okay? 180 minus theta. Then theta, we know that it's that one which is there. Okay? Negative 63.43 degree. What is the answer? This time around, this 63 is not part of the solution. Why? Because in the first quadrant there, there is no negative for tan. So that's the reason why this time reference angle is not part of the solution. So now let us subtract. So 180 minus 63.43, the answer is going to be 116.57 degrees. So this is solution number what? Number 1. Okay. So we are done in the second quadrant. Let us now go to third what? Third quadrant. Third quadrant, or I mean fourth quadrant, that is where tan is negative. So there it will be 360 minus 360 minus theta. Okay? So 360 minus theta is 63.43. What is the answer? 360 minus 63.43. The answer is going to be 296.57 degrees. Okay, so that is our answer. Therefore, the angles from 0 degree to 360 degree are, we are going to have, the first one is 63.43, comma, then we have 243.43, comma, then we come to this one, we have 116.57 and 296.57 degrees. Okay, so these are the angles according to the given question. Thank you so very much for following. See you in the next class.